Right then, good afternoon guys, afternoon or good morning. Welcome to this US session as we just clip last week's highs and take a few order blocks. We'll run through that in a second. This live is recording as well in case anyone wants to cut in and cut out. It will be saved in the live section of YouTube if anyone wants to come back to it, so you're welcome to do that. Just give it a minute or so and we'll jump into some data points as people join. Nice to see a volatility kick jump back in as we hit this US session. Bank holiday yesterday obviously, so yeah, really poor flows we can see yesterday from the weekend range, which is just it's just to be expected now, to be honest. The US order flow is very dominant at the minute, even kind of almost taking over that Asia session volume and volatility that we've seen in the past few months. So it's really nice to see. Always a case of do nothing in the European session because it's absolute dog shit, excuse my language. And yeah, just like I mentioned in the video that I posted quickly early this morning, just wait for the US session volume to hit and wait for your areas of confluence. Okay, so let's jump in as we start the US session, and drop us a comment as we go through this if you do want us to take a look at any altcoins or any of the charts or anything. I'm going to do the usual thing. If you're not familiar with this format, that we historically we've done these live sessions in Discord, but we are moving it to YouTube in the hope that in the future we'll get more guests on this way, and you know, it's just a little bit of a better format, to be honest. So yeah, hello to anyone that's new, and let's crack on. As I say, it will be recorded this if you do need to dip out. Let's crack on and have a look at some data. I'm not expecting too much in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes because we've just had this volatility kick that you always do get just before the US session. You know, the hour or 2 hours preceding the US session, we normally do get this volatility kick now, and it's one that can be traded. So if you're not aware of that, ignore the European session unless you're scalping. Wait for the US session and you generally get rewarded. Okay, so we've just come up, I'm just on the Binance spot chart at the minute. We're gonna go and have a look at some other exchanges as well, and then the order flows they've got, where they've got some, you know, some levels waiting. As we can see just straight away, initially USDT Binance spot, you've got some guys waiting at 51k, 50k, and then eventually, which is a bigger clip lower, 48. Okay, to the top side we've just clipped last week's highs, which I'll go show you in a second, and taken all that liquidity that I pointed out in the video earlier. Okay, so you had quite a chunk of order blocks here earlier on. We've just gone and filled those order blocks, and I think there was some gaps in there also that a couple of guys in the socials pointed out, and that's just created this wick space is what you get, you know. So we look at these areas in the OBC and we look for reactions in those areas. It's never a case of, just to repeat quickly, it's never a case of I'm gonna set some limit orders in there and sell into that zone. You know, you've just got to wait and see what we get in those areas. Alright, so just quickly looking at Binance now, we've taken some liquidity top side on the OBC, currently on the 2-day 51.8, which we've just wicked above there. So you've still got some order blocks here running right down to 51.8 basically, and then I fully expect at the minute, as we are at these highs, you're going to get quite a lot of order blocks running down lower as well. One day is not showing too much. You can see here this guy that's just popping his head above water. That's the wrong terminology, but you know what I mean. He's vying for a bid at 51, so you can see that guy's just come in on this 1 day chart. Obviously if I just go to a 2 day, it's not going to show that, I don't think, unless he had some lower orders there previously anyway. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, fine, okay, right. And then if I just go to a higher time frame, 51 obviously showing there, and then yeah, just keep an eye again on your higher time frames if we do get any larger volatility and deviations out of this 1 hour range, which again we will go and have a look at this range in a second. Because yeah, you've got quite a few liquidity gaps here. You can see one here at 50.5. I actually think that'd be really nice to come down here and test some of these zones, to be honest. Do we do that in such a bullish trending market? I think it'd be healthy, and yeah, no strong conviction on getting there straight away, but I think it'd certainly be healthy for the market, and the way the trend is going on at the minute, you can come a lot lower, right down into these 48 and below levels, and still look really good. All right, so yep, let's just quickly, before we look at volume and open interest and stuff, let's just go and quickly have a look at what other exchanges are doing. Okay, so Binance Perps have still got some bid a little bit lower. It's really nice to see the overlays like this. It's just indicative of a trending market, so be aware of that. Okay, these guys are on Perps are still willing to bid this if we come a little bit lower. All right, so yeah, just looking at Binance Perps on the Perps side at the minute, still one of the biggest exchanges, and as you can see, we don't get all the depth of book from Bybit, unfortunately. Okay, so looking at spot, we don't even need to really look at the overlays at the minute. I mean, I just eyeball this widget here on the OBD and immediately can see you've got no more spot bid here really at the minute from the Binance guys. Again, I think that's to be expected, to be honest. You know, you would be vying for a bid a little bit low, wouldn't you? We're at highs of the year, obviously. You know, there's no major supply here to speak of, but you know, if you've missed out on the market and you do really want to get in and you're a large player, are you bidding here? I wouldn't think so, to be honest. Okay, quick look at Bitfinex USD. Okay, these guys have still got supply up here, and they've still got supply. It was the same as last week. They've still got supply running up to this 53.7 max, so they're defending like almost that 54k area. All right, USDT have been very cunning, and I'm not sure what they are doing here, and I don't actually trust this level here, to be honest, in the absolute slightest, because it looks a little bit market makery. They had some supply a while ago, last week here. Don't think they even filled it. They may have filled in this zone up here, but I don't think I trust this. Let me just refresh that. I don't know why it always does that. Yeah, I don't trust this. I could see it coming down to these sort of levels, and they pull it, and then they get a fill at 49 or something, which would be a nicer level to fill anyway. If you're a greedy trader, lower the better, you know. Bitstamp, not too much to talk about. They're filling some bids here, but again, it's an exchange I don't have too much strong conviction with. Just to highlight, you know, if the big boys are going to come back in and buy a spot at any point around here, I want to see Binance USDT levels come up like we've just seen here, although this is probably just one entity. Okay, and I actually still do like Coinbase Pro. Okay, so they've filled some supply here, they've filled some offers in this 53k region, and they've actually still sold into this a little bit here as well. All right, doesn't mean we can't go and float back up, and maybe go and attack their offers at 55 in the coming 12-24 hours maybe, but certainly a nice little reaction here initially, just towards the start of the US session, and Coinbase Pro have filled some offers there. Let's have a look at Qcoin. What are these guys doing? Qcoin, nice charts, very nice charts at the minute. they've got top levels down at 50k. You know, I think that initial area of 50k would be really nice in the coming 12-24 hours. Does it get there in one clip straight away? Probably not, because we're in a very strong trending market. I think it'll take time to, I could be wrong, we're dropping now. Go and fill some bids, please, Mr. Big Dog Bitcoin. I'm sure Mr. Think is waiting down there to fill some more bids, if they can get some, if they can meet some demand. So yeah, KuCoin, keep an eye on this chart. It is really nice, and even for intraday moves, you know, you can see that they had some confluence there in that top level again at 53k, just over 53k, as we drop back down now. Skews the H&A candles, but I hate normal candles, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. All right, guys. And I believe that horizontal price action is more important anyway, so I just keep an eye on these levels, and they're just tidier. So this is nice to see now. So this will be nice to see actually if we come and get some fills down at these levels, and then we'll see what kind of order flow we get in from the spot market. Because I do, you know, when we're at these kind of highs, we'll go and have a look at the trend and the range in a second, and we'll have a look at volume. But when we're at these sort of highs, you know, I'm not particularly fussed, and this goes for altcoins as well when you're at highs, for seeing perps come in and be overly bullish, especially when open interest is quite high. Alright, so I think funding is actually not too bad. I do have to say, funding is not too bad. It's not the worst I've seen. As long as price is moving up, those guys will get paid. But open interest is very high. Let's go and have a look at this. But this is nice to see. Let's go see if we can fill this guy, see if he's got the minerals to get his bid filled and hold his position. Alright, so let's go and have a look at, we'll go to the OBC again as we come down a little bit here. What's ETH doing then? Let me just go to my multi-chart. Yeah, well, I mean, ETH, I'll just show you this quickly before we go look at volume and OI. ETH filled some offers up here, and has a little bit of bid come in, but it's obviously going to do whatever Bitcoin does. I quite liked Polkadot here, just for quick ref. We will go into alts in a little bit more depth in a second, but DOT was good here. Don't like the fact the top level's moving. I like Dogecoin here. That'd be quite nice to go down and test these guys that want filling. And quickly, I'm going off task here because I'm moving away from Bitcoin, but I like tier as well down here as well, so keep an eye on tier down into that 17 level. That could be a really nice one. I'll keep that chart open actually. Right, what I want to go and show you quickly is, as we come down and start to fill some bid, if we can please, Mr. Bitcoin, let's have a look at what volume has been doing. Alright, so 15-minute volume. We've got to appreciate we've just come out the back of a weekend, and I'm going to count the US bank holiday yesterday also as a very low volume day. So, but even discounting that, you have been building some bear divs in this range. So bear divs into high open interest. I'm just going to go to a 1 hour chart and show you that. Okay, so this is our higher range, and you can see that as you come up, perhaps bigger players in perps have just lacking interest a little bit, and spot market is lacking interest a little bit as well. Alright, and even if I just split the difference there and go to a 30-minute, you can see it there. Alright, I don't particularly like to see that when open interest is high like this. You know, yes, we've got strong ETF flows, so a lot of spot buying going on in the background of the market, but at the minute I trust this data, and if you're not in any longs at the minute, you know, disregard spot for the second. I would hope everyone's got some nice spot exposure from lower. When we're talking about these kind of bear divs and stuff, we are talking, you know, lower time frame sort of stuff and derivatives, perps trading. All right, so yeah, retail guys have been getting a little bit frothy here, as we can see on our 10k and under order size. They've been going up there. Funding's probably been going up a little bit from that, but I don't think it's too bad. Let me just check what Bybit it is at, because they're absolute degenerates. Actually, Binance, so Binance at 0.02, Bybit 0.013. So yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not high, all-time high bull market kind of funding, so not too bad, but just something to be aware with as people start to flash and show off P&L screenshots on crypto Twitter and the like. You know, what is your plan here? That's what you've got to always ask yourself. So yeah, little bit high open interest on elongated, longer time frame, longer look back bear divs. Just be aware of that, okay? I don't like to see the open interest just hang around up here. I would much prefer, if we were going to get a nice solid move down, to see this just come down quickly, wick some of these lows of the range. We'll have a look at the range in a second, and that'll wipe out. I don't think it'd take much to wipe out this open interest, reset a bit of funding while the volume is low, and then it's not going to take much effort to then float us back up, okay? So yeah, not macro bearish. I think we're, you know, everything's looking great, but just be aware of levels lower. If we do go back down there, where do you want exposure? Where do you want to bid some altcoins and the like, okay? Quick look at the order book liquidity as well. It has been creeping up. Alright, so you can see where we've hit some of these highs on the open interest RSI metrics. Okay, so generally when we're in the highs of this open interest RSI metric, it's a good idea if you're day trading on the like to maybe risk off. So risk on at the bottom, risk off at the top. Works really, really nice. Let me just go to a higher time frame quickly on this. Yeah, so you can see the spot order book depth has been coming up a little bit. So if people did want to fill some offers, they could do so probably quite easily. Open interest coming down on the higher time frame, but obviously we're comparing back to the ETF froth, which was back here. Okay, so not the best comparison. We've kept on going, and you know the spot order flows have kept us going. But yeah, just keep an eye on that. All right. So yeah, volume and open interest not in conjunction with a big continuation immediately, I would say, and that's all I would say. And that's why I like to get to these zones. That's why I like to get to these zones, especially at your highs. And all you've got to do is plan for your next move. If we move lower, what are you doing? Are you hedging a position, you know, a little bit of a short here, and where are you going to pick up some more risk? Or if we do move higher and start to attack, yeah, let's have a look at the OBC, you know, the above 53, and we're going to start to attack maybe the 55 range. What are you looking for? Do we have bigger supply up there? Are we still building some bear divs on really high open interest? And has the funding increased? You know, has the funding got really increased? Is your favorite crypto Twitter influencer going euphoric with P&L screenshots? Just be aware of it, you know. So let's just zoom in quickly and have a look at this range, because you absolutely all love my range pulls. I know you do. Range TRDR, as the meme goes. Yeah, so we've basically, all we've done in the last 2 hours pre-US session, we've taken out these highs from over here. Let me just draw a line in case you can't see it. Okay, so you've got those highs there. We've just absolutely clipped those highs. So if you were scalping or anything, or just want to hedge a little position, that was the area to do it. We had some order blocks up there and some OBC gaps up there as well. Okay, so I mentioned those in the video earlier. Video I put out this morning was, don't diddle in the middle when you're at the POC of the range. Wait for this, or wait for this down here. You've got some order blocks lower, okay? So hit this one first. Nice. Okay, let's see where we go from here. So basically formed a bit of a range there. Value area high, basically 52.3. Okay, so you're just testing that zone now. Value area low of this little range, roughly, this is a rough pull, it varies on exchange to exchange obviously, 51.6. Okay, so yeah, you could come down and clip some of these zones. Let me just get rid of that, I didn't mean to do that one. That'd be really nice, and just check it in confluence with OBC. I actually think it'd be really nice just to come down and create a little bit of a bigger range here. I don't think the range would continue for that long, because the range we came out of, and I won't bore you all to death with this because it is a bit boring, we'll go look at some exciting altcoins in a second, but we've just come out of the December range, I'll call it, which basically went on for, what was it, 5 or 6 weeks? I can go back and check it, but you know, 5 or 6 weeks or something was this bitch over here. I'd have to go to am I on a 1 hour there? Which was really, really long, wasn't it? Basically, we've just come out of this. Let me just draw that quickly, okay? Just really, really quick. I don't want to bore anyone here. We've just come out of the December range, and what you tend to find is, so you're trending up, okay? So you're trending, and what you'll tend to find now is you consolidate for a certain amount of time like this. As you then trend up, I don't think you're going to consolidate as long. So that was 4, 5, 6 weeks or whatever. I mean, you've only just done this little piddling move here. So it remains to be seen if this is going to be a continued range, or do you come down to some lows immediately and then just start to trend again. You don't have to form a range here, but the point I'm trying to make is I don't think this will range for as long as the December one did. That's the point I'm trying to get across. We'll move on. So yeah, really, really nice. If we came down and swept under 50.6, that could be really, really nice. What percentage is that? Let's do some quick maths. 3%. Okay, absolutely nothing of a move. That would go and test this big boy here at 51k that we saw the top level drop in. Alright, and it would actually, you'd get that wick space there, okay? So if you just look over here to the left hand side, what you've got here is an OBC gap. Alright, so what we mean by that is just an area of absolutely no activity. You've got one there, but you've got a slightly larger one here. So if you do come down under 50.5, that could create some really nice wick space here, and even if you're day trading or scalping, you might get a really, really nice reaction from that zone. What happens if you do come down there and you wanted to get a little bit of risk on? Go to your OBD, check the overlay, check the top levels, have a look at the big boys who are trading on Binance, on Coinbase Pro, on Bitfinex, and see what bid they've got in down there, right? But I do believe this would be very, very nice I'm not going to draw a trend line, because although I am really, really fucking tempted to draw a trend line, excuse my language again. We do love to swear over here in the UK, whether it's relevant to anything or not. No, I don't like that in the slightest. I mean, yeah, okay, you could do, but no, let's get off that. Right, let's go and have a look at some other shizzle. Let's go and have a look at ETH first of all. So yeah, BTC just coming down. It's tacked its POC of the range here. Alright, what have we got close by? 51.9. Yeah, your closest big orders, 51.7. You could clear that. Then you've got a couple of order blocks below, and then actually you've got a little bit of wick space there, if you can just see that, at 51, just under 51.5 as well. So that could create some wick space, and it's right here below the value area low of this smaller range. Okay, yeah, I think it all looks nice and constructive. No fear here whatsoever. Let me just reset that. Let's go and check what Ethereum is doing, if you don't mind. I just want to go and have a look at the bid on ETH, and then what we'll do is we'll have a look at some little shit coins, because I still believe, and I've been saying it for ages, but the alts still look really, really great. I'm just going to refresh that quickly. The alts look great. Again, flick to your daily charts and stuff. Yeah, so despite this, have no fear. If we pop lower on ETH and some of the bigger coins, it's a massive, massive opportunity for the coming years. All right, coming months and years. It's all going to be very, very constructive, I think, if we come down. Pretty red market, as we can see here today. Okay, so just looking initially on ETH USDT, again, we've just hit a bit of supply. I do believe, I wasn't watching the trades panel, but I do believe some of the offers filled up here. All right, I could go look at the OBC actually, but I just want to check ETH BTC quickly. All right, so ETH BTC, Binance, nothing to see. ETH BTC has been in supply for a little bit on Bitfinex, and you can see that here. All right, also ETH BTC is in supply on Bitstamp. All right, So anyone saying that you're going to get immediate rotations, go tell them to fuck off, because just don't go and buy and go all in just because someone says that. Alright, don't mean you can't get a nice drop 48 hours or something and then get a better bid. If you're looking to get in the market on ETH, just wait for that demand to come back in, I would say. Where is that demand coming on ETH? Nothing immediately. You've got TUSD there, but they're just still not doing any volume, I don't believe. You've got no immediate demand from ETH BTC. Just looking here again on the bottom right panel. Sometimes again, you know, you don't have to zoom into the overlays. Just have a look at the panel here and you can see no immediate bid on USDT or ETH BTC at the minute. Perps market is looking a little bit lower. They've got some dynamic levels just popping up here at the 2700 mark and then the 2650 mark. Anywhere down there could be quite nice. While we're on ETH, and then we'll move on to some shit coins in a second. Let me just go back to ETH. Binance. Yep, okay, let's have a look at the OBC together on ETH, because I haven't looked at it in a while. Let me just go to a 1 day and have a look at the order blocks. Yeah, okay, so you can see here, and it's quite a small top level. It's not massive, really, so no major orders, but you've got order blocks on ETH coming down to 2,900. So it sounds obvious, and we're not that far away, but certainly don't do anything right now. You've just come from this zone at the start of the US session. Just let it come down a little bit and let it do its thing. Then you've got nothing really until your order blocks start hitting again at 2,850, and then you've got a little bit of an OBC gap again at 2,840. So up in the, and this is just on a 1 day, we'll go to higher time frames in a second. So if you're looking for exposure in the market, this is the time when you go, okay, if we're coming down, where can we go? And if we get there, I need to watch what's happening as we get there. Okay, if this, then that. If we come down here and I get bid, do I want to get risk on? Just going to slightly different time frames. Yeah, and this is to be expected, to be honest. You've filled a lot of offers higher here on ETH, you know, and it's not always a case of you've filled these offers, so it means you have to absolutely reverse down, go fill demand, and then we'll go back up. But there is no immediate demand. You know, if the market is mega bullish, then what you can get sometimes is the market, and I mean market bid, not resting limit bids, can just come in and just start bidding this back up, in which case areas like this just get absolutely fried and the price will just go through until you fill these higher offers up here. Okay, so just something to be aware of. If the market is feeling very bullish today, you don't have to come and fill these order blocks. All right, the market bid can just push price. These are resting orders sat waiting to look to get a fill. If Mr. Larry Fink comes in and has other ideas, you ain't getting a fill, sir. Thank you very much. We're going to all-time highs or whatever. Not financial advice, obviously, disclaimers and all of that. All right, but a little bit lower down. So this is just a 2 day. So your main order blocks on ETH are going down to 2,810. So I would say if you're very patient, which you should be, all of you, wait for that zone, wait for these guys to fill. Let's go to a 4 day quickly. Yeah, so 2,830, 2,810 could be really nice. And then if you do get something, yeah, you've got no real big gaps. You'd have to really drop a lot lower on ETH to get these kind of big wick spaces, and I don't think you get there in one clip. So, you know, initially, just it's probably going to follow Bitcoin at the minute, isn't it? Rotator's disappointment. I'm sure it will have its day, but at the minute, yeah, just wait for some of these order blocks to come and fill, and then check the overlays and see what you get. Quickly on ETH as well, then we will move on. Bear divs on ETH, confirmed bear divs, 15-minute and 1 hour bear divs, spot perps. All right, high open interest, nice volume king cluster, high open interest, little bit high funding with the LS ratio as well. Let's just check it at 1 hour. Yep, bear divs. Alright, so again, just like I mentioned on Bitcoin earlier, if no one was listening, it doesn't mean that you're immediately going to absolutely just tank, but it just makes me aware of the possibilities of coming down lower. Okay, so you're at some highs, what's your plan? Alright, do you want to take a bit of profit? Do you want to hedge a short position? If you're hedging a short, where's your risk? You know, okay, especially when you're seeing this Larry, Think and BlackRock flows or not. And this again, just to repeat, this is all lower time frame stuff, not macro trend at all. Alright, so lower time frame on ETH, volume bear divs, people have been taking profit of you as you come up here, and you've got a lack of spot demand up here. What do you need to do if you've got a lack of spot demand? You need to go and find it and make those people bid. Alright, and yeah, just to repeat again quickly, don't like to see that when I've got high open interest. I mentioned this in the video earlier, and I might be repeating myself, but if the volume starts to really come down, I would see the volume as reset on like 15-minute and 1 hour time frames. If the open interest comes down a little bit as well, you know, it just then makes it very easy to float price back up on that low volume, I would say. Okay, so that's a few nice levels to look at lower if you're day trading. I don't think there's much. If you've missed this bit now and weren't watching the OBD on ETH or Bitcoin, I don't think there's much edge for you, unfortunately, right here. Don't chase anything, please. Don't chase red candles as well as you don't chase green candles. Just watch what happens in the coming hours. If Bitcoin and ETH are going to hold here, there's certainly some nice alts you could look at. So I'm just going to flick to the multi-chart quickly. What have I got open here? So yeah, I will look at some of these on the main chart in a second, and we can have a look at some levels and the like. But yeah, I've liked Doge for a while, to be honest, because I think the order books are just great, and I like the Doge daily chart, although it's starting to just trend up a little bit now. So if you are late to this, again, don't just jump in on it. Alright, few new additions to the TRDR console. The guys did a great job of the update at the weekend, I believe it was. So they've done a really nice update, and you've got a few new shiny coins that I know you degenerates have been after for a while. So you've got Tier, ORDI, PIF, Blair, SSV and all, loads more as well. So if you are missing one of your coins, just go and have a search. The guys did post in the announcements which coins have been added, but if you are missing one, there might be a better way to do this. Comment if you found it, but if you just type Binance in your watch list up here, and then you will get everything. Alright, so you could obviously just go and search in here as well, but if you're wanting to add it to your list, which this won't do, alright, so that won't add it to your list. I don't think we can add from there like on TradingView, but if you just go and type Binance here on your watch list, and then you can just zoom down and have a look at whatever you need to add, and there's a freaking shit ton of assets in there now, and obviously what the guys like to add in is the ones from the Binance markets, because it's still the biggest market, obviously. And again, just to repeat, we don't have all the depth of data from Bybit. Alright, so go type Binance in there if you're missing one of your assets, and it should be more than likely in there. If it is still missing, I think you're a bit too degenerate, and it's probably something that's got a market cap of about 50 cents, so it's not going to get added anytime soon. Alright, so yeah, I'm quite liking, and I just to point out, so this is new to the TRDR console. Let's go and have a look at it on the big chart while ETH and BTC do their thing. I just wanted to point out and you know how clean these order books are as well, straight away. Oops, I didn't want the BTC chart. So new one added, Tether spot, there we go. Okay, so new one added, so you're not going to get data previously, okay, apart from the weekend, and it's just nice to see that immediately this got added at the weekend, and straight away immediately Tier's got really nice charts. So you know, if you're into this asset because it's a new shiny race car coin and they move really well, just like Say, Sue, Some of the other assets have been moving really well. So it's nice to see these clean, and this is what I would call a clean order book as well, straight away. So yeah, if you're watching this one, have a look at it down to this $17 $17 level. There'll be no real data from volume or anything. Let me just go and have a look at the 4-hour chart, because actually, freaking hellfire. Yeah, don't trade it with leverage, please. It's trending really well, but yeah, just watch that $17 level and let it come back to its. I hate trend lines, to be honest. I prefer horizontal action, but yeah, somewhere down here, somewhere back to trend, and don't be shocked if it does just, you know, consolidate for a while like this. But yeah, just wanted to point that out, that these new assets can have really nice order books straight away, and it's nice to see that from spot as well. Let me just quickly look at the perps chart on tier. I knew it was going to do that, you twat. It's probably because I'm on Safari actually at the minute. TUSD, USDC spot, yeah, okay, 15 minute. There we go, 5 minutes. So yeah, nice to see that. I just wanted to have a look while you guys were on at perps. Perps quite nice as well, capping the price a little bit higher in its range, so that's nice to see. These guys were obviously hoping to hedge a bit of a fill there, and you can see it's in its supply there from the aggregated order book depth. So yeah, not a bad perps chart as well. Nice to see you've got that confluence coming down to the 17 level. Let these guys just make them fill there. Yeah, that could be quite nice. 17 on tier, back to trend, and then see where we go from there. What's Big Dog Bitcoin doing? Yeah, bring it down please. Let me just get rid of some of these lines and clean the chart up so we can have a look at the top levels together. Yeah, let's go see if this guy at 51 wants a fill on Bitcoin. I've got that open there. I just want to check on my multi-chart. Yeah, let's go see if this guy wants to fill. I think I'd prefer lower in general, really, on BTC. You know, but I just don't know if you're going to get it in one clip. So 51.1. I don't think you're going to come right down in one clip. It can happen, obviously, anything can happen, but I don't know. I'd be interested to see what goes on here and what holds here, basically. Right, give us a shout if we need to look at any alts together. Let me just go check my alerts. Okay, so LTC, old school coin LTC, getting some demand, interesting sirs. No real edge though right now. Yeah, if we're going to come down, I want a little bit lower all over, really. You want to come down to these top levels and you want to test them. You want to see the demand, you know, and you want these guys to either fill and hold that level, or if it, you know, if it's going to break, it should look pretty obvious. Stops below, just let it stop you out. You know, never move your stop. But yeah, so a little bit lower there. Let's go. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go and have a look at the bigger assets that have been moving well over the previous month or so. So no real edge on AVAX at the minute. I do have to say, I think AVAX is doing similar to Link, in respect that it's had an absolute mega trend and is probably going to consolidate for a little bit longer. Set your alerts on AVAX and the like, and Sol. Recommend just setting some spot double band alerts for a kickoff. That's probably your best one. Set some BTC alt alerts, and all these are going to do is just give you a heads up to when that demand or supply comes in. Okay, alt diamond is good, really good as well, but for me, if something is consolidating in a larger trend, I do like the spot double bands to alert me as to say, yep, some good depth is coming back in the book on that altcoin. Okay, so AVAX not looking amazing here, no real edge. I'm sure it will bounce nice eventually, but this is a spot order book, and this is a terrible looking spot order book. No edge there at all whatsoever. What is, again, let's have a look at an old school coin, ETC. No, nothing there. Phil's been doing well, hasn't it? Phil has absolutely smashed some supply, and you can see this is nice to see for a coin that's kind of like breaking out of its lower time frame sorry, higher time frame trends. You see these levels here, these top levels, just to highlight again, probably mentioned this last week, okay, but you really want to see this. You want to see these people chasing price up, all right, for a nice trend continuation. So Filecoin, not sure of if it's got real narrative, but I know the daily chart on a lot of these coins, again, like Filecoin and stuff, was looking really good, and this is what you want to look for, okay. So hit some supply here, basically, then it kind of like dissipated a little bit, and then as we were coming, I think this was still the weekend here, I won't hover on this for too long because it's boring, it's already moving, but this is really nice to see. Supply disappears, and it's almost like again like a resistance to support flip, and again you see these USDT spot levels, these guys are having to chase up, they're shitting themselves, they're like, oh fuck, we've missed out, right, we need to chase up. So let these guys get a fill, and then you've just hit some bigger spot supply now. Let's have a look at perps. No edge there on perps. These guys are overly bullish. I fully expect it'll probably come back lower to 7, because this was the weekend. I think this was coming into the weekend, wasn't it? Yeah, let it come a little bit lower and meet some fills. What ratio do you use for spot alt double bands? Yeah, just a 60. I might be lying there. I might be absolutely bullshitting because I might have changed it. Let me go check. 70. Yeah, I'm absolutely full of shit, sorry. And I've changed it to 70. You could have it at 60. It's absolutely fine. 60 is obviously a strong ratio demand, but I just think in a bullish trending market, when a lot of coins have already started to break out, consolidate, come back down, I just wanted to see slightly higher ratios, to be honest, to fill. They might not, you might get some of them not hitting that, but for me, I'm kind of always at the charts anyway. So I will scan my watch list almost twice a day. So if that doesn't start basically firing and telling me that I'm getting spot alt double bands with a 70 ratio, I'll probably lower it again to 60. That's very strong. That's very strong. So if you're getting spot alt double bands with a 70 ratios, and imagine then you've got some nice top levels there as well, that's going to look really good, all right, really good on altcoins. Just be aware of the wider market narrative though. Is Bitcoin dropping or moving up at the same time? All right, let's go. So we've looked at fill, spent a bit more time on fill than I would have liked. Let me just have a look at LDO out of interest, because this is again, LDO is a really nice chart. It has been scamming some levels lately, and a lot of these top levels have not even filled on LDO. But I do like to see this down here at 2.94, so just defending that 3 area. So imagine, and this will move nice with ETH as well, won't it? I think we all know that now, but yeah, this would be nice if we do come down over the next 12-24 hours, if we do, just to stipulate again, unless the market bid gets very bullish and just pushes everything up again. But this if these kind of levels come into confluence when ETH's meeting some demand, BTC's meeting some demand, you can get some really nice day trades off these sort of levels. All right. What's Stinky Link doing? Are the Link Marines still happy? Is it up only? Okay, so again, just looking at spot books. No, I'm just on the 5-minute chart here at the minute as well to zoom in some top levels. No real edge there actually on Link. It hit some supply at classic levels of $20, and we're not seeing much. Is it gonna start consolidating again? No real edge there. Wonder what Coinbase are bidding it, but it's spot. Bear in mind they're quite welcome to fill spot bid here and then take a little bit of percentage downside. Interesting. What about Qcoin? What do they look like on Link? They're filling some bid as well, but no real edge from the bigger players in Binance. All right, quick look at Matic while we're here. No edge. I'd love to see everything a little bit lower, you know, over the next 24 hours. I think timelines, although I think funding and everything's okay, I think timelines have just been a little bit frothy, and it's only healthy to bring stuff down, you know. RNDR, nice, moves really well. No edge there. What is Rune doing? Rune's another one that moves really well. No edge on spot. Yeah, it's almost like if you float back up, it's going to be market bid driven, because I'm not seeing a lot of spot demand on much at the minute. One I will highlight that looked good, I think I had it on my multi-chart earlier, was DOT, but these guys have shit the pants and pulled it, basically. You'll probably see that in the OBC. There you go, 7.6 minus 123k. And you know, when you look at stuff like this, don't always think that this is spoofing or whatever. Sometimes these guys will fill, but you know, just imagine this is probably quite a big player here wanting to get a fill on DOT. They might have filled some bid already, and maybe they're just of the opinion that the market is going to come down a little bit and they can fill lower, you know. But as I always say, if you were long from here, that was a fucking great long, right in the London, an hour into London session there, because your risk reward there was like about 1%. So if you executed in there, so you got a nice bounce off DOT. Nice 3% bounce off DOT, but then just be aware, if you were still holding this, I would say you're probably going to dive lower than this top level, okay? But really nice order books. Keep an eye on DOT. All right, I do want to go and have a look at Sol as well, and tell me if I'm missing out on any of the bigger coins as well. No edge on Sol right now. It did hit some supply. It's doing a very similar thing, and I won't go back to the kind of range it's in at the minute after coming down off its trend, but again, it's doing it. If you just look at the link chart, what it did, it kind of consolidated, ranged for a while, then moved. So it'd be really nice to see Sol, AVAX and a few others basically come down. You see what it's kind of doing here? You know, and you can almost after this massive trend, you could almost treat this, oh, double top, stop selling honey, I can't double top. You could almost treat this, and maybe it comes into one bigger range, you know. Let me just do the old fixed range that everybody loves, and it doesn't bore anyone at all. So yeah, basically Sol is at range highs, so absolutely no surprise why you've seen spot supply up here and you're not seeing much demand on it. Okay, so you've got a bit of demand, you've got a 50 ratio there, but on Sol, yeah, okay, so you've got the POC there. I wouldn't be bidding here at range highs, you know. Basically you've got a POC there at 97, not too far away whatsoever if we get a little bit of a flush from the market overall. Okay, but this is your bid zone, these are your value area lows, and obviously it could come a lot lower if we do get anything you know, drastic happening, but I can't see where that would come from. But yeah, these are your bid zones, and it's very similar to the Link chart was before. Link filled its low bids in its value area low and just carried on. If you're unfamiliar with that chart, let me just go to it quickly. Okay, so similar, not exactly the same, but similar shape to what Link did. Let me just do this really quick. Okay, so value area highs here, value area lows. POC changes over time as you go, obviously as long with the value area lows. But yeah, bid the value area lows, sell the value area highs if you're a range trader. Okay, value area low bid, holds the POC, carries on. And you're probably going to get something similar here, but probably not for as long, because this is similar to when Bitcoin is in. It was ranging, and you don't know it's going to range obviously until it starts to really form it, but it was ranging for 12th of November. God, yeah, quite a long time, just over 8 weeks. Okay, but I think Sol and AVAX will do a similar thing, so just patience, really patience, and wait to just get those lower bids. You do not have to chase anything. You've got I think you've got a very nice couple of years coming ahead on the macro timeline of things. All right, so just be patient, protect profits when you're in them. Has VET come back down? Oh, look at that. That was beautiful on VET. So VET had a really nice breakout, and I think I won't go on to the higher time frame on VET because we did it last week, I believe. I will go look at XRP in a minute though, for the XRP army. But yeah, nice move on VET, and VET is going to do a similar thing here as well. It's probably just going to consolidate a little bit. You can see some spot demand coming in 39 to 40 area, but you see this, how that was probably quite a tricky short to get involved in because it was really wicking you out here. But what you don't want to see is when you're coming down from highs like this, even though it's taken a long time. So that was 15th of Feb. What you don't want to see on coins like this is then for price to get capped off and people just start selling into it here, because what's happening is as it takes time, you can see people are waiting to bid this. They've probably got no fills here, and it's very similar with most coins. Okay, so it's done really well. You're in absolute profits, whether that's spot or perps, and then what it does is it starts to take its time and people get really impatient. They absolutely hate it because all they want is up only. And then this guy here, or whatever entity this is, they've just gone, fuck this, I mean X amount of profit, right, I'm just going to sell some spot. Okay, and that's what you get here, and you do, and especially if it's, I wasn't watching this at the time, I've only just seen it, but you don't want to see that. Okay, so this is probably going to come down a lot lower, and probably test some decent levels. If anyone wants to going to get in here, just be patient on that one as well. XRP has been holding really well, and I believe it's got some good depth. There's no real edge in the order books right now, but I think it will. Yeah, so it's just tickling that trend line again that we drew last week. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, okay, so this is its higher time frame trend line. I'm talking about higher time frame, I'm just talking about from back in November 23. Okay, so trend line, and it's just tickling it, almost a bit of a back test. I don't really like trend lines, but yeah, okay, so let's see what it wants to do here. All right, again, if it comes down, it will still probably be a buy. 56, and then what's its lower level there? 51. Yeah, no edge right now, but I think it's probably looking poised. Let's go and look at DOGE I'm just interested while you guys are on as well. Full disclosure, don't hold any, not telling anyone to buy any, but DOGE daily chart has been looking really nice at the minute, so let's just go and have a look at that. 4 hour is a little bit odd because it's kind of like blasted up, come down, almost a rounded bottom. That's a bit of a shit one. Then it just looks like it wants to come down a little bit now. Do you want to have a look at the daily and show you that basically? DOGE is, and did we go over this last week? I can't remember if we did or not, but I just love these charts. So, you know, even if the market suddenly says, right, we're going to drop a lot lower in the coming days or weeks for whatever reason, I don't see the narrative for any reason yet, but if we do drop lower, look at charts like DOGE. It's so fucking good. Classic TA again. There's your zones on DOGE. Immediate POC just around that kind of 0.08 area. Any lower, brilliant. But yeah, really good. Any lower on DOGE is absolute opportunity, I would say. Let me just go to a 4 hour and see where that is looking on a 4 hour. Where's that POC? Load up. There we go. So you can see if you come back even down to the POC on DOGE, watch your OBD. So this is a nice way to look at it actually. So a little bit of classic TA, and then literally just look at your OBD and where's the nearest bid. 2.5 to 5% away there on spot at a 67 ratio. Okay, so that basically, if you're unfamiliar, all we're saying is 2.5 to 5% away from price. Where is that? Okay, so just roughly 5% away or from current price is your POC. Alright, so keep an eye on that 8 level on DOGE if we do come back down. If we do come down to that region, let me just delete some shizzle so we get a cleaner chart. I can't stand a messy chart. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see much edge in volume at the minute. Let me just go to, yeah, volume's been ramping up through here. If you do come down and sweep this low here, which is at that 8 POC region, just make sure your volume doesn't tank as well. Keep this volume up. Okay, let's have a look at the actual OBD then, because I don't remember. Yeah, there you go. So you've just got these bands coming in here now. So you've got some people waiting to fill, and if you just remember 2 seconds ago, we're looking at the POC there. Okay, so bit of classic TA. Where's the level? Great. Okay, let's look at the OBD. Where's your nearest bid? 2.5 to 5% away. You've got a 63 ratio. Let's see if we can go and fill it. My opinion is always, if you are looking at areas like this, set some alerts and then just wait to go and fill it. Again, patience needed on some of these coins unless you are scalping. I'm not a scalper in the absolute slightest. I kind of like to chill out, watch an area, watch for a reaction in that zone. And even if you're watching Doge down to here, for instance, let it come down and fill this area. But then even if it comes down to this zone and you've got a nice risk reward down here, let me just go and have a look. Okay, so say we're using that first top level. Okay, maybe it takes a couple of nibbles, but use that top level, execute as close as you can to this top level if there is bid coming in. Okay, so what you want to see is, you want to see this 2.5 to 5 ratio hold, but then you want to see this 1 to 2.5 fill up with bid as well, and you want everyone to just start bidding this here. But you also want BTC and ETH to look pretty nice as well. Okay, if they're going to drop a little bit lower, then Doge is probably going to test that lower level there, right to that 80, which was at the POC, I believe. All right, so watching that zone, what's BTC and ETH doing? If they're still dropping, watch for the lower level. And again, down to your execution really, just execute as best as you can to some of these zones. If you're trading derivatives and using that first level, just make sure you let yourself get stopped out. Alright, or just kill the trade if you think it's going lower and just take another bite of the apple when it comes to it. For perps, what ratio do you use for alts? I actually upped my ratio on alts because as you are in, and I mentioned this last time, as you are in a trending bullish market, 40 at the very least for alts for me personally. You will notice the alt alerts fire a lot anyway on perps because the market is excitable. So what do most people do when the market is excitable? They think the favorite altcoin is going to go to infinity, so they're always trading derivatives, chasing that, those percentages. Everybody wants X amount percentage a day or a week. They listen to the favourite person on YouTube or Twitter, and quite rightly, there's some great intelligent guys out there, but people are talking about certain coins that are going to move and that are looking good. Alright, but does that mean it's going to move in the next 4-6 hours? Probably not. Timeline on just today in general was really bullish, but does that mean we move up right now? Maybe not. So market on perps can be very over bullish, especially when you are trending. Just be aware of that. So if you're seeing ratios like this, and this is a messy order book as well, this is what I would call messy, when you're seeing ratios like this, there's no edges there. I mean, just look at this. There's no real edge, and that's not to say that you can't find edge in the perps market books. You definitely can, but just be aware if you're trading. It's like I have this one here, perps alt double bands. Actually, I haven't looked at it in a bit. Let me just check the settings on this one as well. Okay, so basically I just want to know when perps are at double band ratios in the 1 to 2.5 and the 2.5 to 5. And again, I have that on 40, but when this alert fires, it's not an instant, oh shit, I need to get in the market. I just then want to have a look at what is going on. So perps traders are bidding it, fine, good on them, let them bid it, but then I kind of want to go to spot and have a look at the levels on spot really. Alright, so yeah, obviously higher ratios the better, but as you can just see, flicking back to this Doge chart now on spot, how clean it is. Look at it, it's so nice. Yeah, first level 8.2, if that fails 8.0, so you've got 2 bites at the apple there. I wouldn't particularly recommend holding all the way down, although that level to that level is only 2.5% anyway. But yeah, execute as close as you can down here, not financial advice. Alright, so anything else I need to cover today? I don't think there is really. Bitcoin's not doing too much as it sits here right now. I would like higher overall, lower overall, and I do think we get it. It's very nice that people have got these higher time frame targets and stuff, but just in these little live sessions we do in general, we're just talking about you know, intraday kind of moves. Where have we come from? Where can we possibly go? You know, so yeah, higher time frame. I think Bitcoin still looks absolutely shit hot. Even in the coming days, weeks, if it did go down to 48 levels, 45 levels, anything like that, okay, I don't think it's going to do it in one clip. So nice levels here, you're getting some nice drops. Have a look at the alts like we've just looked at Doge, and just have a look at those levels. You know, this might not take long. You could soon find Bitcoin coming into some bid in the coming hours, 24 hours, and then we just get trend continuation. That'd be really, really nice, wouldn't it? Watch to see if this guy at 51 wants to hold his position. I don't think he will. I think this guy will shit the bed, and I'd prefer a little bit lower, 48, but I'm sure we'll see. I'm happy to be proved wrong if we do start to rotate back up. Is there any coins we need to look at? What's Charles's coin doing? Probably absolutely nothing. I'm just getting a little bit of lag actually, I'm not sure why. I have got an absolute shitload of windows open. Charles's coin is doing absolutely shit. Does anybody even earn Cardano anymore? Do we like Cardano? It's been filling supply all the way up here, and I don't even think it's moved much on a daily time frame. I'm sure it's another coin that's got a really good daily chart, but is the project doing anything anymore? Let's not deep dive into it. I'm not going to deep dive now, but anyway, right, I'm just going to flick to trading view quickly while you're all on. If you're familiar with some of my tweets, I've had this for a while. I think you've got a slight inverted head and shoulders going on the Dixie. Coinbase Pro has obviously done some great stuff, pulling down nicely now, but that's a bit of an horrible chart, isn't it? I would like it to flush a little bit lower. S&P E-mini futures obviously still hanging around at those all-time highs. Don't be surprised, and I'm no legacy market guru in any way, shape or form, but I've just got a cheeky trend line there, and you've got some order blocks lower as well on S&P, so don't be surprised at all if you do see some of the markets getting a little bit risk off if Dixie decides to just churn out this kind of zone a little bit more. Okay, I'd be interested to see what goes on there. All right. So yeah, everything coming down nice. It was nice to see Bitcoin make that reaction earlier, because as I said first thing this morning, the video was don't do anything here, wait for this higher order block and OBCs to get hit. So it's a case of what gets hit first. Do you drop lower in the US session, find some bid and then float up, or do you come up higher first in the US session, fill some offers and then rotate down? Again, I wouldn't suggest in any way, shape or form, I'm just going to refresh this again, excuse me, do not chase red candles expecting Bitcoin just to come down now. As you can see, you're just hitting a 54 ratio on spot. You've got Bitstamp filling some bid at a 68 ratio. Again, I'm not looking to long this yet because I just kind of like to watch the order flow and see what happens. Qcoin, they're looking lower here. You can see they just capped price there, just to repeat what we saw earlier. They're looking for 50k. I think that'd be really, really nice as well, because we have that OBC gap, okay, unless someone has just filled it. Why has it done that? I changed the chart and it goes to the last altcoin I was looking at. Okay, so we did have an OBC gap here at 51, and then we've got one there just starting to fill some of these gaps as well. And again, what you'll see here, and if no one's got any questions, we'll close off in a second, but as you come down and fill some of these order blocks, when you've got gaps here like this, these can quite easily just then fill with orders, so then they you know, they are then no longer a gap. All right, so just something to be aware of. But yeah, I think anywhere below 50.5 would be nice, and just make people bid it back up. Any higher time frame moves, 48 is your next obvious area, and that is all there is to it. All right, guys, so I'll just give it 30 seconds. If anyone's got any questions, just fire them over now, or any quick altcoins we need to look at. I'll close it up now because I've been talking absolute shit for an hour. I hope you've got some value from it. Just share this video if you like, because it is recorded and saved to YouTube. Just give it a comment. I will timestamp it when I get a second after, okay, so you can just go back and review it. But yeah, if you are finding any value from it at all in these little live sessions, because obviously try and do the normal videos just for a little market watch update, but then things change very, very quickly, as we've seen now, you know. So if you are getting any value from the live session videos, just give us a shout and share it if you can. Alright guys, so yeah, we'll leave it there. 51, see if this entity wants to hold, see if you get some bid. If not, yes, 50k, there's a few exchanges with levels there. Do they want to hold that? But no sense of urgency. Don't chase this. What you could immediately do is just bounce from here and then go and hit 52.1 or something again, you know. Looking at a 5-minute chart, you could just bounce and then just come back up here and fill some of these orders again back up to 51.8 and the like. All right guys, ORDI, yeah, let's have a quick look at ORDI, because I haven't actually looked at the ORDI books, to be honest. Oh Jesus Christ, what is that? Is that Peps? Yeah, nuke it. God, Peps did a good job of nuking that. Let's have a look at ORDI and then we'll close off. ORDI, wasn't it? Yeah, it's probably going to be a nice one for the next couple of years, this one, isn't it? Okay, I'm sure what you're going to get is like on tier, you're probably going to get some really nice order books here. You can already see some like top levels vying for position. We probably need a little bit more history on some of these fresh coins. Tier's looking nice already, as I showed earlier. Just rewind it after I've closed this out if you haven't seen the tier order books. Tier down to 17 level to keep its trend could be really, really nice. Okay, ORDI down to, yeah, make these top levels work down to 62 and 61, and again, just be patient. Don't chase any bounces, but also don't chase these green candles. What does ORDI look like on a high time frame? Is it absolutely ripping? I've not looked, and when I say high time frame, I'm just going to go to a 4-hour. Oh nice. Okay, this is, oh wow, yeah, this has been okay, so it's fairly new obviously. And it's absolutely ripped up, which is nice to see. A few of the it's interesting actually, because a few of the newer coins have actually ripped up and then consolidated, whereas years ago when there was ICOs, they used to absolutely they used to just nuke, consolidate, and then you had to wait for the bull run before they made any progress again. So it's nice to see on some of these new coins they're actually getting value straight away. But ORDI, yeah, it's consolidating. Let's have a look at its range then. Let's just quickly geek out on its range before we close off. And I am looking at a 4-hour, to be honest. And then let's close off the live so we can actually get some work done. Yeah, its POC, its point of control, is quite close to that 52 level. I think that was where the OBD was showing some interest, which is again just as we saw on DOGE. So immediately, sometimes you don't even need to look at the overlays. A little bit of a classic tier, and you can see its support here on the POC, okay, of its range. I'm even going to do a cheeky, this is what your favourite YouTubers would do, wouldn't they? I'm not into trend lines, but this is what I'm sure this is what your top YouTubers would do, wouldn't they? They'd draw a trend line and go wait for here. But actually, yeah, that could look quite constructive. What's the volume? No edge at all, because it's brand new for us guys here in the TRDR console. Yeah, no real edge right now. Yep, looking at the OBD, it's got some ORDI BTC bid there. You can see that's 2.5 to 5% away. and also some USDT spot bid, which is 2.5 to 5% away. So immediately for me, when I look at charts like this, I mean, it could very easily just bounce here again if it gets market bid up, you know. But I like to look at these zones, all right, and I want these zones to go and fill, or, you know, all right, so the nearest bid is 2.5 to 5% away. Prove it, right? Prove it. Go and fill it then. I mean, to get to the POC, you're actually looking at 20% away, so I don't think you're going to get down there in one clip straight away anyway. But yeah, the top levels were pretty much on the trend, so somewhere around here. Let's have a look at a 1 hour. Yeah, kind of 61 zone is your nearest top levels. Again, it's pretty new to us. I don't know what kind of depth and volume will actually turn this thing around, but again, I would certainly just wait for a little bit lower on ORDI, which is, again, let's just have a look at that. Yeah, 5% away, 5% away, which I know sounds a little bit boring if you're wanting to get in the market now, sort of thing. It's just the way I kind of like trade and look at things, really. I'm quite patient in that I would just wait for those levels, same as I was showing you guys on DOGE. Alright guys, so what we'll do is we'll close it off there. What's Big Dog Bitcoin doing? Yeah, just chopping about a little bit here. As I said, get some levels in mind of where you want exposure if you think we're going to come down a little bit lower. If you think the market's going to rip up one more time on Bitcoin and the like, and maybe hit this 55 zone or further in the coming days, it's been a very, very, very good 2 weeks in the market already, hasn't it? So is there anywhere you want to take profit if you haven't taken a bit of profit already? Is there anywhere you want to take a little bit of profit? And maybe hedge a little bit of a short position against your spot positions. All right, but yeah, with the Bitcoin bear divs, open interest, I would prefer a down move in the next 24-48 hours, but I'm sure we will see soon. All right guys, we'll close it off there. I'll be around in the TRDR socials if anyone needs anything. If you have got any value from this, it is saved. I will timestamp it soon. Just give it a share if you can and a like. Alright guys, I hope everyone has a really, really good week, and we will be back on Thursday, all being well, with an update, and let's hope some volatility.